Alright, hello everybody, and today we'll be working on mount from CyberSecLabs. So let's get started with our nmap scan. We can just do our standard nmap scan where we scan for all ports. We can paste the IP address in there, but I already did it because this nmap scan took me almost an hour. So I'm just going to show you the one I did when I first did this box. So we'll just cat our nmap scan, and this is the nmap scan. As you can see, it took me almost an hour. So we can take a look at what's open. So we see port 53 for DNS. We see Kerbrute, Microsoft RPC. We see LDAP. Nothing really too interesting, but we do see this Microsoft SQL server, so we can have a look at that since you don't really see that a lot. But we do see we need to add this mount.csl to our etc host file. So vim etc hosts, but I already added it in. You just have to add this in. Right. So we can keep going down, and we don't really see much after this. Just some more Microsoft RPC. So we can start off by enumerating that SMB, and we can do that with enum for Linux. So we'll just specify -a for all, which will scan for everything, and it's done already. So we don't really get much out of it. We don't see any shares. Yeah, we don't really have any shares, so there's not much, as you can see. So that's good. Well, not really good, but we can work towards other things. We can start enumerating LDAP. So we can come back here to our Active Directory methodology, and we can just start enumerating. So we already checked for SMB, and next on the list will be enumerate LDAP, but I doubt we'll get anything. So we can copy this IP address 172.31.35. Yes. Alright. And after this, they obviously want us to run Kerbrute, so we can do that. But let's check this out, see what we get. We don't really see much. Not much out of it like usual. So we can just clear this, and we can head over to our op folder for Kerbrute. If you don't have Kerbrute, I'll leave a link to it in the description below, but you can check back on my previous videos, but it's not that hard to install. So we can just do user enum, and then we can specify our domain, which is brute. Sorry, not brute. We're doing mount.csl. We have to specify domain controller, so we can just add mount.csl, and we have to specify a word list, which we can just use our SecLists. And if you don't have it, just apt install SecLists. We get over to usernames, and we can just do the 10 million, and we'll run that. Okay. So now if we head back to our nmap scan, we do see the port 1433 right over here, the Microsoft SQL server. You don't see this a lot, so why don't we just look this up on hacktricks, since I love this website. So we just search that up, and you see it's right over here, port 1433. So we can just check that out, and we'll see what shows up. See if we can do anything, maybe enumerate or even exploit it. So we can run this nmap script on it, but it's super long. Looks like there's some metasploit, so why don't we just do this in metasploit. I'm just gonna head over to our walkthrough directory, and we'll start metasploit right here. We do see a user, we see P Taylor, so why don't we add that into our walkthrough directory, and we can make a users list, and we'll just add this P Taylor. Maybe we might even be able to do some ASRP roast, so we can just add a new tab. If you don't know how to do it, you can come down over here, and down here I'll give you the command. We can use GetNPUsers for this. So we'll just copy this command, and we'll see if we get anything out of it. So we're going to change the format to John instead of hashcat, and we'll just specify users file as users. And as for the domain, we can specify mount.csl. Just like that, we'll see, and it says we can't. So there's no hashes here, we can't get it. And we don't really have another user right now, but we can come back over here, and we can take a look at what we can do. So we can enumerate some MySQL enum, where we need to enumerate domain accounts or more. But we're just gonna start off with this one. And all we have to do is set our host to 172.31.35. We just have to run, and it's running through a lot of things. Right, so we have a lot of juicy information here. We can take a look. Know what it's running on. Windows Server 2019. I'll see if we can. Anyway, some users. Here we go. A Kirk, P Taylor, K Wood, and Lee A Woods. It's awesome. And it actually is finding. Kerbrute is finding. It should be on the word list as well, but we can get it faster this way. So we can add that instead of P Taylor. We also have A Kirk. We also have K Wood, and we also have N Lee. Was it K Wood? Yes, and we also have A Wood, and that should be it. So we can just save this. Now we can run our command again, but this time with an updated file. So let's hope we might be able to get a hash from this. Okay, I'm gonna cat this out, and you can see there's nothing here, so we didn't get any luck with this. So we might have to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do. We don't really see much else here, and that's fine. But yeah, unless we see another user, which is unlikely, we'll have to try something else. So we can keep enumerating this MySQL. So over here, search for interesting data, privilege code execution, which is what we want. This one executes some commands, and this one uploads and executes a payload. So we might want to run an upload and execute a payload, since that can give us a shell. So we'll just use this. Okay, and clear. We'll show options. We set our host to our 172.31.35. It's our L host or ton 0, and we'll just run just like that, and we'll hope we can get a shell. And as you can see, it's running through this. And we'll let that run. We can come back over here and see if we get any more users. We don't. So we'll just keep letting this run. Hopefully we might be able to get a shell if we're lucky. And as you can see, there's not really much after this. But yeah, we can keep running this. It's almost done. And we have an interpreter session. That is awesome. Get UID. We're NT service, MySQL server. So we're the SQL server. We do sysinfo. We can see architecture x64, but our interpreter session is x86. So we might have to migrate processes just so it's easier for us. And as you can see, we can choose this one, same privileges, and you just copy this ID, and we'll just do migrate that ID, and it's complete. Now we do sysinfo again. You can see our interpreter session is now x64, which is what we want. Alright, so we can try to do something like hash dump, but we can't, so we might have to do some priv exec. So let's drop into a shell. We can head over to the users file, and we can see there's an A Woods, so maybe we can head in there, but access is denied. So it's awful, we can't really do much, so why don't we upload something like winPEAS. So I'm going to exit out of this just so we can upload winPEAS. Head over to a temp directory. There we go. So why don't we upload? It's in my op folder. Windows privilege escalation winPEAS.exe. We'll upload that here. We'll drop back into a shell, and we'll do winPEAS.exe. So that'll run through a lot of things. It'll show us a lot of things, and if that doesn't work, we can upload something like Bloodhound. So we'll run through all this. It's going through a lot of things. We can come back over here to Kerbrute, and as you can see, there's not much here. We can just cancel this out right now since we're not going to get much out of it, and we already have a shell, so it's really no point. And it's done. So why don't we come back to the top, and we'll see what we can find. So we do see some possible kernel exploits, although I doubt there's going to be much there. We can try that for last, but we can keep going on. We don't really see much interesting here. Nothing too interesting. User information, so we might want to look at this to see what groups we're in. Nothing too interesting over here, but we can keep going, see if we see anything else. Oh, we see impersonate privilege, so that's awesome. That means we can impersonate someone, impersonate token, or maybe we can even upload something like juicy potato. So keep going. Auto log on credentials. So we're just gonna try the impersonate user first. That's just our winPEAS. That's usually shows up. So doubts anything. If doubts anything good. Just scroll past all of this before we try anything, because there might be something else. Nothing really else. There's usually nothing in these folders. So yeah, so that's it. We can just exit out of this. Actually, well, why don't we drop back into a shell and I'll show you who am I/all, and that will show you all the groups you're in as well as your privileges. We do see, I see impersonate privilege, so why don't we just drop out of this. Maybe we can try to see if we can, I don't know, impersonate some sort of token. So we load incognito, list tokens by usernames. You can see we don't really get anything. So yeah, so there's nothing interesting here. But what we can do is try to use something like Juicy Potato or even PrintSpoofer. Now, I don't know Juicy Potato works, but I know PrintSpoofer does. So if you don't know what PrintSpoofer is, you can just search up PrintSpoofer. And I like to use this one because it's executable for us. So they already compiled it, and this one's actually by a mayor, so that's awesome. And we just have to run this one command, so it's awesome. So all you need to do is just git clone this or just download the exe. But yeah, I already have it, so I'm just gonna look for it. I don't know where it is. It might be in my op folder. Actually, I'll just locate printspoofer.exe. /opt printspoofer. It's right here. Okay, so I'll upload op printspoofer and we'll do printspoofer.exe. And this will take advantage of the impersonate user and might give us upgraded shell. So what did I do? Who am I there? Okay, so it's here, and now all we need to do is run it. So printspoofer.exe, and it'll actually give you the command right here, -i-c-cmd. So we can just run that, and it did give us, so it found the privilege, and now it upgraded our session. So we can see who am I, and we are mount domain controller. So that's awesome. We can now just check into users and see if we can go into the administrator folder. And as you can see, we can go into desktop there, and that's your system flag right over there. So it's awesome. We just completely own this machine. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll make more videos soon, and hopefully you guys enjoyed them and you're learning something. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to me. It means a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.